So you've done 2 incredible years in Australia, and now you're probably thinking, can I do just one more? Well, you might be in luck. In this explainer, we are going to break down absolutely everything you need to know about getting a third working holiday visa, the Subclass 417.
It's the dream, isn't it? One more year of that incredible Aussie lifestyle. But is it actually possible for you? Let's get right into the details and find out if that third year can be your reality.
So what is this visa anyway? Well, put simply, it's your ticket for another 12 months in Australia. It lets you keep working, keep traveling, and build on everything you've already experienced. But like with any visa, there are some very specific hoops you've got to jump through first. All right, let's start at square one. Before we even get into the tricky stuff like work requirements or age limits, there are a few foundational checks you just have to pass. Think of this as building the base for your entire application. First things first, and this one is a total deal breaker. You have to hold a valid passport from one of the countries or jurisdictions you see listed right here. If your country isn't on this list, then I'm afraid the Subclass 417 visa isn't an option for you. Feel free to hit pause and make sure your passport qualifies. And this is super important. This visa is not for newcomers. To even be considered for a third year, you absolutely must have already held a second working holiday visa. It's a progressive system. You can't just skip a step.
Okay, now where you apply from actually makes a big difference. If you're lodging your application from inside Australia, you generally need to be on what's called a substantive visa. If it just expired, you do get a little 28-day grace period. But if you're applying from overseas, you can pretty much ignore this rule. It doesn't apply to you.
Okay, let's move on to the big one. This is, for most people, the biggest hurdle to clear. This is the part that takes real planning and a lot of hard work, the specified work requirement. The magic number is 6 months. That's what you're aiming for. To be eligible for this third-year visa, you must have completed 6 full months of specified work. And here's the kicker. It has to be done while you were on your second working holiday visa. So what does specified work actually mean? Well, it's the government's way of encouraging people to work in key industries in regional parts of the country. Think farming, construction, tourism, but only in certain designated areas. The Department of Home Affairs website has the full official list, and it's absolutely crucial that you check that your specific job and its location both qualify. Now, for anyone watching with a UK passport, you're going to want to listen up because this is a massive, massive change that could make a huge difference for you. Here it is. If you hold a UK passport and you apply on or after July 1st, 2024, you are completely exempt from that 6-month specified work requirement. Let that sink in. No farm work, no regional work needed. This is an absolute game changer, and it makes getting a third year so much more accessible for Brit. The work requirement might be the biggest challenge, but you're not at the finish line just yet. There are several other standard checks that every single applicant has to clear, and these cover your finances, health, and character. You'll need to show that you have enough money to support yourself when you arrive. The general rule of thumb is about 5,000 Australian dollars for your initial stay. Plus, you need to prove you can afford a flight home at the end of your trip. And then you have the standard checklist. You've got to meet the health and character requirements, make sure you don't owe any money to the Australian government, and have a clean immigration history with no visa cancellations or refusals. And finally, you'll sign the Australian Value Statement, which is just you agreeing to respect Australia's laws and way of life. Right, let's talk about the one rule where there is absolutely zero flexibility: your age. This is a hard deadline, and if you miss it, there are no second chances. So what is that final cutoff point? When does that window of opportunity officially slam shut? Well, it actually depends on the passport you're holding. For most of the eligible countries, you have to apply while you're between 18 and 30 years old. That's a strict cutoff. But as you can see, there is an exception. For passport holders from Canada, France, the UK, and a few others, that age limit gets bumped up to 35, giving you until you turn 36 to apply. Now for the fine print, and this is so critical. Your application has to be submitted before you turn 31 or 36. The deadline is midnight on your birthday, and this is the part that trips so many people up. It's based on Australian Eastern Standard Time. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, when you click submit, you are on Sydney's clock. Honestly, the government's own advice is pretty clear on this one. Just don't leave it to the last minute. Time zone confusion is a real thing, and it's just not worth risking your entire application over a few hours. Get it in well before your birthday and save yourself the stress. Whew. So, we have covered a lot of ground. Let's pull all of that together into a final, simple checklist you can use to see exactly where you stand. Okay, here it is, your 5-point check. 1. Do you have the right passport? 2. Are you still under that age limit, 30 or 35? 3. Have you already done your second-year visa? 4. Have you finished your 6 months of specified work, unless, of course, you're from the UK and applying after that key date? And 5. Can you pass all the other standard checks? If you can tick every single one of those boxes, you are in a fantastic position.
And that's really the bottom line. The third-year visa is an incredible opportunity to extend your journey in Australia. Now that you have the facts, you can make a clear decision. So the only question left is this your next chapter?